go. We are live and we are talking all things WWE Summerslam New Jersey. Guys, it is going to be the first two-night SummerSlam WWE show. Just straight off the bat, before we get into any predictions, anything like that, what's your thoughts on the idea of having two nights for SummerSlam? Is it something that you want, something that you don't mind, or something that you're kind of against?
Okay. Already looking at say how it's built and how the cards are, because obviously we know night one, we know night two. Already, I see a very similar WrestleMania style.
Yeah,
where you have night one, but then what you want to watch is basically night two. In my opinion, you got like one or two matches on night one that you're like, oh, I'm interested in. But night two, you're like, okay, I want to watch all of them.
All right. And Deeks, what's your thoughts on it?
I can take it or leave it. Two night shows. I don't mind the idea of it, but I'd rather have it as one night but extra long instead of two nights.
Define, just out of curiosity, define extra long. So before we had the two-night WrestleManias, WrestleMania felt really long for a lot of us, especially UK side, because we was awake for a very long time, right? There was like 6-7 hour long shows. Now, without a comparison, because I hate doing the comparison stuff, AEW do a hell of a job in the way they book their pay-per-views. However, they do get really long at times, like, because I think you get burnout pretty quick when you have a lot of stuff going on. So in terms, and there was also, I would say, WWE has this awful trait of putting over a lot of adverts and promos and video packages and build up bits and then cutting to this and cutting back, and there's a lot of filler that isn't needed. So if you add all that filler that isn't needed and add more matches into the show, I think we'd be there for like 15 hours. And I'm not being dramatic. It feels long.
Me and one of my closest friends, we were talking about the exact same thing, literally maybe last night. We were just chilling playing PlayStation, and we were just talking about SummerSlam. It was like, well, if you look at it, if they was to do it all in one night, you'd have, let's say, 10 hours to watch both nights in one night. You'll get maybe 7 hours of adverts and 3 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
What we want is 9 hours of wrestling and then 1 hour of advert. We want the wrestling proportion to be greater.
Yeah.
I'm not saying do 10 hour shows. That's a lot of wrestling to watch. Watch straight, but I'd love that. But just do a normal 4-5 hour show. Keep the adverts in, fine, but make them shorter.
Yeah, I think some matches don't really. I think the biggest thing with WWE, and this is obviously not bashing it, but I think the biggest thing with WWE we get is every match has a promo, like a video package. Not everything needs one. Some stuff does, some stuff doesn't. We know there's a build there. The reason they add one is because, especially even more so now, because it's Netflix, they're still in this journey of some people are just joining. Some people have never watched it before. So I understand it, but it's so frustrating.
Thing is, the video package they're putting in, fine. I like the idea of it. It keeps you up to date with what's going on with their feud. Fine, but you don't need that much information.
Yeah, 30 seconds of a video, not like 2 minutes. Because you got 2 minutes, then you got your intros, like your entrances, and then you've got the breakdown of it. If it's for a title, then you get the title shown, and then you get this. And by the time the match, you've had like 10 minutes of stuff happen before the match even gone on.
With the current technology, we could have a split screen entrance plus background at the same time.
Yeah.
This is where happened to build the match up. At the same time, here's entrances. It saves time.
Yeah, but
this is how I feel when they do it. I feel like I'm watching Raw highlights. You know, when you go on YouTube, you go on WWE, you can watch all of Raw's highlights for, say, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like we get every PLE. You get SmackDown's highlights, you get Raw's highlights.
Yeah,
If you're throwing NXT in it, you get NXT's highlights. If there's, what next? We'll get TNA's highlights as well.
Thing is, with NXT's main pay-per-views, their packages are much shorter.
Yeah, but there's less on the card, and they get a little time to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, with WWE,
I would rather the main roster adopt NXT setup. I really would.
I don't know, mate.
I mean, NXT that could become so clean when it's set up to the main roster.
Yeah, it is very different. But look, we could spend all night kind of badgering about what we like and what we don't like. Obviously, today it is the live predictions, as you see from the graphic. So that's our honest thoughts about like the 2-night thing. That obviously going into like some other stuff. Look, let's get on to a breakdown. Obviously, we've got 2 nights, so I don't have an exact match order, but I have what's happening on night 1 on the 2nd of August and night 2, August the 3rd. Potentially there may be a watch along. I can't guarantee that because of time constraints and stuff like that. Some of us are traveling, one of us is away on holiday, so on and so on and so on. So obviously we'll have to try and figure out what's happening with that. However, let's get on to the first one. I don't have it in match order, so I do apologize, guys. So it'll be Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, and that is for the WWE Women's Championship. Guys, what's happening here? Do we think it's Tiffy's time is up? Oh, Jade's has gone. Do we think Tiffy time is up, or do we think Jade she's going to retain? Is Jade Cargill going to be victorious, or is Tiffany Stratton retaining?
For me, with the push Cargill's getting right now, she's getting lots of screen time. She's getting decent matches coming out at the moment. I think she's getting a push right now. So I think Tiffy time is over for now. It might collapse and her push might die off quickly and Tiff might get it back straight away.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it's going at the moment, I feel there's a push going on right now. And I think it's going to be a title change.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think Tiffy time is almost up. And I do think he's going to get Jade Cargill is going to be victorious. However, I will say, with Stratton dropping the title, one, it does 2 things. It opens the door for her to potentially look at maybe going for a mid-title run, which isn't a bad thing.
No.
Obviously, opens the door for Jade to obviously face someone else. There's some other people on top. On top of that, maybe we could get a heel version of Tiffany Stratton. Now, obviously, Deeks, from NXT, Tiffany Stratton as a heel, I think has such a better ring to it, in my opinion. The great face, and sometimes people organically turn because the fan base is so strong. And I think, to be fair, it's kind of what happened with Tiffany Stratton.
I actually enjoyed Tiffy as a heel. She was aggressive, violent, outspoken. She would interfere on anybody just to get a reaction out of the crowd and get her face popularized and get a match. She would do that, and I love that about her.
Yeah,
her heel was amazing.
Yeah, I really liked her as a heel. But I mean, can you see her going heel soon, or do you think she's still going to stay as a face?
I think for the moment they're going to keep her as a face because at the moment, her as a face, she's hot with the crowd.
Yeah.
When it starts dying down a little bit, and then they might okay, it's heel time.
Yeah.
So about the moment she's on the rise with the crowd. The crowd love her at the moment. They're always chanting her when she comes out. So at the moment her heel was nicely rising nicely. Face is rising nicely. So I think at the moment she'll stay face. I'm going to say for at least another 8 to 12 months.
Well, you think she'll be face for another year?
Maybe another year, yeah, maybe.
Interesting. See, I think it's the opposite. I think she's her losing the title, I think, is going to be the reason that she actually turns heel. I think that'll be I think it's going to break her in terms of the match. Like, I think she's going to get broken from that, and then from that will be the reason why she turns heel. I think the loss is going to affect her.
She's quite confident though, so it might do, it might not. She's quite confident, but she's quite confident.
So yeah, all right. Look, so Shades is back. I'm assuming he had some technical difficulties. All right, dude. So we were just saying. Sorry. So we were just saying. So we both think Jade is going to win. Obviously in the first match. We were also saying that. So I think this is going to be the reason that Tiffany Stratton kind of starts to turn heel because of taking the loss. Deeks thinks that Stratton's going to stay as a face for a little while, but we both kind of agree that she could now, maybe if she does drop it, she'll go for like a mid title run. So yeah, what's your thoughts? Who's going to win, and are we going to get the Tiffany Stratton turn sooner rather than later?
Is Tiffy going to win? Is it Jade's time to hold a title? We recently had this conversation not too long ago. I don't know if you remember. 2 streams ago now.
Yeah.
And we said we collectively come up with not ready. In the nicest, most respectful way. Not ready. Now, in the few months, weeks that she's had, is Jade ready to be the top dog, if you will? In my opinion, no. Not quite there yet. You're very good, but I believe you can be so much better. Therefore, I don't think it's your time, with the utmost respect, to carry one of the most prestigious titles that the women's division has. You know? So I'm going to go Tiffy to win. Hands down. It's going to be a great fight. But I really want to see Jade come down a few. And I think she'll dominate in the mid card section, in a continental, go there, build yourself up. You don't want to. Jade becomes champion, cool. Let's go 3 months down the line. Jade loses it. Where does Jade go? Mid card. I'd rather you start mid card, earn your way up, show us what you can do with a mid card title, and then show us what you can do with the massive big title that's going to put you out there.
I want to throw this out there. So let's say, for example, Stratton wins and she's victorious, right? What if we were to get the reason that Stratton wins is she wins by cheating? She does a heel tactic, and that solidifies her turning heel on that. Would you be opposed to the idea of Tiffany Stratton having a half of a face run and half of a heel run with the title as her first run with it?
I'd love that. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, actually.
Tiffy wins, but we get Tiffy's heel turn. Then we have a vicious, badass champion who operates on Tiffy time.
Yeah.
It's not outside the realms of possibility, because she's done similar things in the past. So it's not outside the realms of possibilities. It's in her wheelhouse to do that. She has got a bad girl side in her, so it's not unplausible. It is a good shout.
Yeah. All right, let's move away from that. Obviously, you're talking about some other heels in the business. Here's one that's probably more despised in general, and that is Logan Paul teaming with Drew McIntyre to go against Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Now, I'll be honest. I think I can be quite blatant with this one. As much as I would like Randy to win, I hate the idea of celebrities coming in for like one match and kind of disappearing again. You know, it really frustrates me. Do I like Logan Paul as a person? Personally, I don't know him, so I can't have much of a judgment. But it's all right. I'm not against him. I'm not for him. You know, it's a bit like Marmite. That's a UK reference. You either like him, you either love him or you hate him, and I'm quite medium with it. I'm not fussed. However, how long now do we have to have Drew McIntyre in doing this stuff before he finally gets the push that he bloody deserves? I mean, we've already got CM Punk later on in the show going against Gunther. Now, CM Punk wasn't always there in the build and the feud with Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre done a hell of a lot of carrying. And where's his title match? You know, like I understand not everyone can be at the top at the same time, and I fully have an understanding of that. But when you put the company on someone's back during COVID, i.e., Drew, have them basically win the title, then don't let him win the big one again further down the line when it would have been the perfect moment, obviously against Roman at you know, in a Clash or whenever it was. There's always been this moment where for some reason Drew just they don't have this big outcome for Drew, and personally, it actually annoys me. I think this is the turnaround that we need. I think this is what we want. Drew, my opinion, I want Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul to win. And at the end of the match, Logan Paul turns around and gets hit with a Claymore and Drew walks off. I think for me, that's the perfect finish. However, I feel it'll be strange for them to have all this booking and do stuff on TV with Logan and Jelly Roll and kind of all this build up and then not have Jelly Roll and Randy Orton win. So that's where I'm kind of undecided. So look, I'm still going to go Drew and Logan, but I'd be honest, I don't see it being that. But go on, whoever's next.
Go on.
Okay.
Here we go.
Celebrities in wrestling. I don't mind it, you know, but with Logan Paul, you had the quote unquote celebrity turn up and is now there on a contract. He works there. As he says, he's full time WWE with everything else. You know, he's got the podcast TV show that with WWE. You know, everything he was doing outside has now slowly come in. Prime show, that's great. Jelly Roll, I don't think will have a contract to go do wrestling full time.
Oh no, 100%. It's just like
Yeah,
a
what
one
I'm
and
coming
done.
from? Like you Logan Paul come in as a celeb, famous, whatever, cool YouTube, but turns out he's damn good at it, and it is now there full time. Obviously,
Kind of full time.
you get
He's about as full time as Brock Lesnar. Let's be honest, guys. He's about as full time as John Cena's final run.
From a celebrity to the business standpoint, he is there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Randy Orton and Jerry Roll, they're similar to you. They're gonna win. Otherwise, they wouldn't have all of this with Jelly Roll and Logan in the ring and the punching. By the way, nice move from Jelly Roll. You know, clearly, you know, has put work in to learn some moves and stuff. Credit
he's dropped
to
like
you.
100 pounds or something like that as well, when he proper pushed himself to drop weight to, you know. So I mean, look, props to the guy for what he's done. I think if a celebrity comes in, for example, Logan, right? But he's there, he does the work. Fine. When Bad Bunny come in and like he done a couple of matches and he had the match with Priest, like he put the work in, you know. Like some wrestlers just have this moment or some celebrities, sorry, have this thing and they can put work in and really pull it off. What annoys me when someone kind of comes along and they're not in it for the long haul, they kind of get their thing and then go. You know, like when I Show Speed was in the Royal Rumble. Okay, yes, they got eyes on the product from Speed via his stream. However, he hasn't been back since. Like that kind of stuff annoys me, you know. Like Either have them because they're going to be there for a reason, or don't. And
Yeah.
for me, it's frustrating.
Mm.
But yeah, look, Jelly Roll's done. He's put the work in. He was there at NXT. Deeks, I don't know if you see it. I think he was seen on the camera. But yeah, he was sitting there. Apparently, he was taking notes, studying, watching, learning, getting more of an understanding. So look, mad respect for the guy. If he continues to show up and do things like that, and he puts on a great match, fine. But there's been people that we've had in the past, and I've made it clear on other streams. Someone like Ronda Rousey, someone so athletically gifted. And in my opinion, I think she was absolutely diabolical in WWE. So it works both ways. I just think if you're gonna do it, be there for it, and that's it. But then again, someone like Jelly Roll's on the show, and again, my argument is someone like Carmelo Hayes isn't. Like I don't. You know what have they got to do for certain guys got to do to get on the show? So that's what annoys me.
Yeah, but credit to where credit's due. He lost 140 something pounds.
Mhm.
As he puts it, he feels happier. He feels healthier.
Yeah.
Credit to you. Now, when SummerSlam rolls up, I want to see just how much of dedication that you're going to show in the match. You've shown us that you have the dedication to do everything pre-match, lose the weight, which is something very difficult to do, especially when you need to lose a decent chunk like that.
Yeah.
You know, in camps, you know this more than anyone. To lose weight is difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you do it in your line of work. You deal with it on a daily basis. You know,
Yeah.
Jelly Roll and Randy are gonna win. We know that. But I want to see Logan Paul and Drew win because I don't think Jelly Roll is going to stick around much more after that to do anything. You know, we're talking about a world famous musician. He ain't going to drop all of the touring and that to go on the road with WWE. He ain't going to drop that life that he's built from nothing to go on the road with WWE. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. All
So
right, Diggs,
I
let's
want to
bring you in.
see I want to see Drew win and Logan win purely from a wrestling standpoint, but from a show standpoint, you know it's going to be Jelly Roll and Randy.
Yeah. All right, go on, Diggs.
I agree with you, boys. With everything you say. We've always want, unfortunately, Logan Paul and
Drew
McIntyre to win this match, but they're not going to. And all preps to Jelly Roll. What I've heard, apparently, he's been training daily in the Performance Center for 4 months.
Yeah, from what I've been reading, is he's been putting the work in.
Apparently, he's been in there every day with multiple different coaches, including Randy Orton, for 4 months daily. That's a lot of work he's putting for one match.
Yeah. Well, maybe he goes.
Yeah.
He spawns over a couple more, but I don't know.
So yeah, I got a feeling when Jelly Roll and Randy all win his match, Logan Paul or Jelly Roll will run it back 1-on-1.
Maybe I could
Maybe.
see that
I
potentially
could,
happen.
yeah.
So yeah, for me, I agree with you guys with the other prediction, but I also agree with you guys with who's going to win it. So yeah.
All right, let's move on to the women. So we do have Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair for
Easy
the
win.
WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. For me, this is an easy answer. I think Deeks has already got the same answer as me. I think it's going to be the frenemies, Bliss and Flair. I think they're going to win because I think it would be insane to break them now when they're actually getting on the same page. Charlotte Flair's getting a lot of love from the fans, and I think they want to keep that because, for me, the story here is, bearing in mind Flair gets a lot of hate because obviously of not even her. It's obviously she's there because of quote unquote the Flair name. She didn't do this, she didn't do that, and I think she's a fantastic wrestler. Firstly, right? I'm not in that camp of for the Flair name and stuff. Yes, she's had a lot of title runs. Maybe she doesn't need as many as like 14. However, you know, with the women's division, there's only certain things that you can do. There was no other mid-card titles. So if you wanted her around at one point and you wanted to be on top and they only had one title, that was it. Do you know what I mean? So by a process of not having other titles, that's kind of the situation they were left with, which is why she has so many. I think if the build of her will happen now and we had Flair's name kind of on a build, I would say she'd probably have a couple of main title runs, maybe some IC, maybe a US title, maybe a tag. It'd be a bit more
spread out.
Yeah, you know, so I don't think it'd be as heavy on a world title run. Regardless, look, I think the build here is we're going to get Flair and Bliss are going to win. I really want it to happen. And I think the reason why I want it to happen so much is when we finally get the inevitable one of them turning heel, it's going to hurt so much more for the fans because they're really behind both of them. Like they are gelling so well. And I've really liked them. As an oddball team, when sometimes you get teams that are oddball and they shouldn't work, but they do. Al Snow and Steve Blackman, Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Santino Marrero and Vladimir Kozlov. Sometimes teams shouldn't work, and they do. And I think, weirdly, these two shouldn't be together because they're so polar opposite and they're working so well. So, for me, it's Flair and Bliss. Deeks, I'll let you jump on next.
Oh, mate, I'm agreeing with you 100%. You know, it'd be a shame to see the title titles change hands because the girls that have got it right now are doing a good job. But I agree, all day long, Frenemy's going to win it. Looking forward to the heel turn. Charlotte, I believe, this will be the first time she wins taking titles, I believe.
I can confirm that with you in a second.
And I think it'll be the 5th time for her partner to win the titles. I believe. If memory serves me right.
Oh, no. So Charlotte Flair has won the women's tag titles with Asuka.
Oh, Oscar. Okay. So I couldn't remember if he did or not. Yeah. So 2 times for Charlotte, and then it'd be a tie-in 5 times for a partner. So she would then tie being tag champions 5 times with the former champion who's had it 5 times.
No. So Alexa Bliss has won it twice. Once with Nikki Cross, and once with Asuka.
Yep.
Right? Charlotte Flair has won it once with Asuka. So both of them are teamed with Asuka to win.
Oh.
Are you thinking 5 times for the world title, maybe?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Got me lines crossed. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm thinking of 5 times champion. Yeah, my bad. Whoopsie.
So that's fine.
So yeah, it'd be interesting though.
2 times SmackDown Women's Champion, 3 times Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting like. Yeah. Give me wires crossed.
Right, so both knowing that both of them have teamed with Asuka and won titles, do you think knowing that stat now, technically they've got more of a chance of winning it?
I think Asuka is a great wrestler, and they've both wrestled with her, both teamed with her. That makes their chances a hell of a lot higher to win.
Yeah,
and they're gelling quickly as well. From being enemies a month ago to now on being best friends that quickly. I'll give it 90% chance of new champions.
Yeah, I can see that. Shades is muted, so I will call to him and see if he's he's back. Cool. Shades, thoughts on this one? Who's victorious here?
Simple. Bliss and Charlotte to win.
Same reason as us?
Yeah, basically. You will.
Yeah.
We lost him there for a minute. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. You went all funny like a robot. Say again.
I said you wouldn't have this kind of build-up with the pom poms and the cheerleading and the frenemies, and I'm not your friend, but I am your friend.
Yep.
I hate you, but I don't hate you. You annoy me, but you don't annoy me. If you're not gonna win,
Yeah. I
what's
would also
the
say,
point in
sorry, to
having
jump
this
in
stupid build-up? You wouldn't have this
and
damn
say,
build-up and put all this effort in if you're not going to give them the damn titles.
yeah, it's a lost moment, isn't it? I will say though, Alexa Bliss has confirmed that she's okay with her nose. Obviously, we were talking in the chat about it. Obviously, Alexa Bliss busted her nose doing the Twisted Bliss to, I believe it was Roxanne Perez on the outside.
Yeah, Raquel,
Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah, on the outside. Obviously, her face hit
Yeah,
the nose.
simple nosebleed. Everyone's fine.
But yeah, she's good. So thankfully, that's that. All right, that's a kind of a clear, easy kind of stuff. All right. We go into this one, which is Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. All right, guys, we're near the end of night one. I would say this is probably second main event here.
This is easy.
All right, go for it.
Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed to win, hands down.
Okay.
You've got those
Any
two
reason why?
badasses. You've got two badasses in the ring. You know, the whole shtick with Seth Rollins is currently on the shelf with Seth being injured. You know, they need something. So they need Roman Reigns don't need no damn push. Jey Uso don't need no damn push. You know, even if they lose and then show up, the fans are still gonna go nuts for them. You know, give it the yeet and the one and the OTC, TC1, whatever chant you want to give. Therefore, if you've got nothing to lose, take the L and bump up two badass guys who could really do with the PLE win, which would be a huge momentum boost, a huge boost for them. You know, you got Bron Breakker who spears people in half like a bulldozer, and Bronson Reed who will cave your ribs in.
Honestly, I agree. I really do agree. As much as I'm a Jey Uso fan, obviously you guys know that, and obviously I'm a fan of Roman. But yeah, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed need this so much more. Obviously, with Seth being out injured, these two are kind of holding the fort down with Heyman. Sometimes being a Heyman guy isn't always that great. For example, let's look at Curtis Axel and Cesaro. It kind of didn't work. These guys really, really need this win to solidify how good they are as a team. If they don't get this win, it does. I think if they don't get the win here, it really breaks up the dynamic of what they're doing with Seth as well as a team. These guys need to carry this moment until Seth's back. Do you know what I mean?
If they don't get the win, then it's basically cool. Why are you doing this together with Paul Heyman? Just go separate ways.
Yeah, it really. I think without Seth there, it doesn't help. With Seth there, Seth can kind of put them in their place and stuff, like Roman did with the Usos at times. But without him there, these guys really need it. So I think they need to win.
They're almost lost. You know, you get sometimes on Raw, Bronson Reed holding the briefcase. Hold on, it's not your briefcase. So why the hell do you have it? Why are you holding it up in the air? Why are you shining it?
Yeah.
You know, and then you get him next week, no briefcase.
So yeah,
it's like
Deeks,
figure out what you're doing and crack on with it.
Yeah, Deeks, what's your thoughts on this?
I don't want to do it because I don't like agreeing with Shades, but I've got to agree as well.
Yeah, for the same reason, yeah.
After what I saw on Raw from Breakker, it's got to be their night. Breakker demolished them two with huge spears.
Yeah.
I mean, huge. He nearly put Jay through two barriers in one night. You know, that first spear off that ramp. Wow. The second spear, putting both through a barrier, was epic. I was on my feet, nearly cheering my head off.
Yeah.
You know, I was excited for that moment.
Yeah, it was good, man.
I haven't felt that feeling for a long time, and I was excited.
On the top of the spear,
I'm agreeing with you guys. Breaker for the win.
On the topic of the spears, surely Bron with this spear and the spears we've seen so far and the spears to come. My prediction for the damn future is you're gonna get one Hall of Fame, definitely when he's old enough, and two, you're gonna get that Hall of Fame. Maybe the first one for a move.
They've had a Hall of Fame for a match, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, we can turn this into another thing because there is a discussion here for like best spear in the business. So without giving comments, we can. I think that'd be up for a debate.
For me, it was one guy for decades. For one guy for me, but now it's changed.
Okay, now maybe we'll turn it into a tier list. That'd be a nice tier list.
You mentioned that, and I've got like 50 spears in my head that I'm ready to share. Man,
right. Let's move on to someone else then who doesn't hit a spear, but who I'm a big fan of, which is Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. Now, obviously, the prediction for this, obviously, or the stipulation for this, obviously, is if Kross wins, Zayn has to say the word Kross was right. If Zayn wins, Kross has got to say, I was wrong about Sami Zayn. I'm assuming it's going to happen.
I believe it's Kross told the truth.
Yes. Look, I'm a huge fan of Karrion Kross. I've liked him since the NXT days when he come up on his first run. Was it as great? No. Since then, obviously, he left. He come back again. This run has been really good. I'm a huge fan for the guy. His work, what he's been doing, video package wise, online, and kind of generating intrigue and interest, and obviously having like the Final Testament with him for a little while before they left, little things like that. Like I'm really behind this build and run for Kross. So for me, honestly, I would love to see Karrion Kross get the win here. So again, Sami Zayn can bounce back. I think all this build with no ending for Kross, I think it does more damage than it actually does good. So for me, really quickly, Karrion Kross is getting the win.
100% agree with you. Everything you just said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's Karrion Kross's time, you know? It's his time for a win. It's his time to win a match.
Yeah.
And it's his time to win a match on a PL. You know, he gives me Undertaker vibes. He gives me Sting vibes, you know? Those are the vibes I get from him. Dead Man, Icon, Kane. You know, he's like, you know, all of them muddled up into one.
Yeah. Deeks?
For a second time tonight, I don't want to do it, but I'll agree with you guys again.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Earthquake.
I love Sami Zayn to bits. I love him. His personality is wicked. His wrestling style is wicked. He's got guts for days. He puts everything out there. But I agree with you guys. It's time for Kross to get his shine. It's time.
Kross would make like a really great champion.
I'd love him to be world heavyweight champ. I know a lot of people don't agree, but Kross as a world heavyweight champ for me would be.
When he was in NXT, he was NXT champion. He was amazing.
Oh man, he wasn't even in NXT that long. I think a year maybe before he went up. Yeah. And that was an incredible run. Obviously, bald Kross is different to long haired Kross. Yes, 100%. However, he's so good. Like I think he's really great.
I don't want to say.
He's got skills for it, and he's got the power, and he's got the charisma for it. He will be a great champion.
Yeah. Just
I don't want to say it. They need to stop holding Kross back.
They really do.
You see so much talent getting held back. Carmelo Hayes, Karrion Kross. The names are endless.
Yeah. As I said, only a few can be on top at one time. And some of them have to do stuff to make themselves known and show that they're still around in a company. Some can do that and some can't. And Kross is one of those people that, all right, he doesn't get a lot of TV time. If he does, it's a promo. but he makes good use of that time with a promo, and the fans chanting "We want Kross" is becoming a continuous thing. So look, props to him for pushing and working and grinding to get that. Him and Scarlett are an absolute force to be reckoned with in terms of getting the crowd behind them. So look, I think it's unanimous. We've all said Kross to win. Now this is maybe.
I can't remember her name. WWF back in the day.
Doesn't narrow it down.
Was with Macho Man.
Oh, Elizabeth.
That's what it reminds me of.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talking of someone that was a fan of the Macho Man. Nice segue. I can kind of bring that back. But the Macho Man elbow drop. Maybe it's not Macho Man, but it is CM Punk. I know you like that one. CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title.
So cool.
It works. All right. This is what we're going to do. Shades is going to give his opinion because I know he's been banging on about this. There's 2 matches he's been banging on. Right? Shades, you've got a minute. Get your fanboy moment out. Go on. Give us your prediction.
Absolutely shush yourself. You have the best in the world versus the greatest of all time in a match. Quote unquote, Gunther states he's the greatest of all time. He isn't, but we go from there. Oh, we're finally gonna see CM Punk in a World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, he said it day one coming in. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money and win titles and all that cool stuff. Is it Punk's turn to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? Yes. Yes, it is. You want to know why? Let me tell you why. Because Gunther does not need the title. He doesn't need it. He's had it already. We're getting another Gunther run, which is all fair, well, and good. But it doesn't need to be a record breaking or a long run. You've had your run. All respect to you. You are amazing. You have been champion 89%, I think the statistic is, of the time you have been there. You have the highest percent of champion and work days so far, I believe. But it's time to pass the torch to anyone. But it just so happens to be you're passing the World Heavyweight Championship to CM Punk.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fight. I think Gunther's losing, but I think not in a way that everyone thinks it will happen. This will be a fight. This will be a long fight, or they're going to leave everything in the ring. This is going to have the same caliber as Triple H and The Undertaker, where they had literally nothing left to give. If they do it properly, they can match that level. If they turn up and don't give it their all, then there's no point in having this match. The whole world, the whole universe has wanted CM Punk in a World Heavyweight Championship match. We now have it. Now let's make it one of the best damn matches of all time. I want to see them both not able to get up.
All right, Deeks.
I agree with some of what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Tom?
The match, the idea you come up with, I like. Go all out, beat the hell out of each other. Neither boy gets up one after the match. People's done. Yeah. But the result is backwards. It is not going to be Punk again. Passing the torch is not going to happen. Gunther for the win. And for a kicker, even though he's not there because he's injured right now, Seth Rollins will not allow Punk to win. He will send his boys out to interfere if necessary.
Okay.
Gunther for the win. Punk, no.
Is Shade still there? Is he dying?
I'm still here. I disagree with you.
All right. So look,
You'll
I
see.
agree with you guys.
You'll see the best in the world raise the title, and then you can shove that title right up where the sun don't shine.
Okay. So this is what I see happening. Okay. I do agree that the match is going to be a huge moment of neither guy can get up, right? This is what I see. I would rather Gunther wins because Punk technically doesn't need a title to be relevant. Technically, neither does Gunther. But this is what I see. Punk winning. I'll let that sit for a minute so Shades can have his little happy moment.
Woo!
Punk
Punk
winning.
winning. Oh,
And then,
someone in Thailand speaking sense. It's
and
wonderful.
then,
Shut up.
CM Punk will get hit by Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker with the title after he's won it. This is what's going to happen. Seth Rollins will come out with his crutches, and he's going to hit a curb stomp, and then he's going to walk off with that title, and he's going to be absolutely fine. And the whole injury thing is going to be a big ploy. He's going to Seth's cashing in on CM Punk.
Wrong.
Technically, I can't be wrong if it hasn't happened.
Listen, yeah, I don't. Your prediction in the future is wrong.
We'll see.
You'll see why later in this very episode why you were wrong, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, we shall see. All right. Let's move away from that then onto night 2. So that's all of night 1. On to night 2 then, lads. Let's start with this one again. No particular match order, just the order that is up on the wiki, just so I've got the thingy. We've got Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Iyo Sky in a match for a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Look, I think this is one of the matches I'm actually really looking forward to. Ripley versus Iyo Sky in their last matchup was absolutely unbelievable. Like, holy shit, was it good.
5-star, 6-star, 10-star, whatever, how many stars you want to give it, they earned it.
Oh man, they went ham. Literally, they just left everything in the ring. Probably one of my favorite women's matches, I think, of all time. It was so good. Now we add Naomi to the situation, and obviously we know with triple threat match, one, the rules kind of go out the window. DQs are off, so anything can happen. The second thing as well is Naomi doesn't have to be pinned in order to Naomi. Technically, if someone pins Naomi, she loses, or if anyone gets pinned, Naomi can lose that title. So I think it opens up a hell of a lot more for story-wise going forwards. However, with all of that happening, I think the person that is still going to be victorious is going to be Naomi. I think she's going to clutch it right at the end, and I think I don't know if there's going to be some interference, but I do think Naomi's going to be the one victorious. I think she's finally at a stage where she's just won it. Her dropping it now would be quite strange. I would actually also like to see Rhea Ripley be the one to take the pin, because again, she can bounce back from it. Iyo's finally getting her moments, and she's finally getting over. Her taking a pin here would be strange. So I would like to actually see Ripley take it to pin and Naomi be the reason, and be the one pinning her. So look, I'm going Naomi.
You've gone Naomi. You've gone glow in the dark caution.
Yes.
I can't. I get what you're saying. I really do get it. But we will have a new champion.
Okay.
We will see a new champion. Naomi will not be a part of the pin submission. No. I think now we're going to have Rhea Ripley with Iyo go 2-on-1, completely obliterate Naomi, level up, complete, steel chairs, the lot, everything, madness. is going to occur. Then
Yeah.
we're going to have what we normally see with Rhea, Iyo, have that one-on-one in a triple threat scenario like we saw, recently. Now, who gets the title? Iyo's just had it. Naomi has it. I think this is a perfect storyline for Rhea Ripley to take back what's hers, but we get this really badass storyline going forward with the three of them. This isn't over. This doesn't end. And Rhea ends up losing down the line to either Iyo or Naomi, and it will still be a DQ match because you can't control these three. We've seen it in the past when it was Rhea, Iyo, and Bianca. Sheer craziness.
Yeah, they had a great match.
The best levels. Now, we've swapped Bianca for Naomi. We're still going to have the craziness. This has the potential to run for like the rest of the year, and provide great matches and great moments. You got three of the most badass women in the same ring going after one title. This has the potential to be a longevity storyline where the title ends up going to Rhea, to Iyo, back to Naomi, back to Rhea, for example. And you get this
Don't hop potato in.
vicious.
Oh, please no.
No, in a longevity sense, you get this vicious. They hate each other. Backstage incidents. You get pure brutal time to let. These three do not need to be held back by any WWE official. No, just let them go, and you will make magic.
Okay. Deeks, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm going to go with new champion as well.
Naomi, yeah.
No, new champion.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And I'm going to go with Iyo Sky.
Interesting. Okay. Any reason?
Iyo Sky is, out of the three of them, unpredictable. She's got moves that neither of the other two can handle in her arsenal. She's constantly throwing loops out there for every wrestler to deal with. She's getting unpredictable with her moveset. That's what gives, for me, Iyo Sky the edge in this match. She can high flyer, which Rhea doesn't do. Naomi sort of does, which throws both of them two off a loop. More Rhea than Naomi. She's got number for days. Rhea Ripley has never beaten Iyo Sky.
Yep, I love that stat, by the way. One of my favourites. That all the matches they've had, Rhea hasn't had a number. I love that going into every match.
She will this time.
And as far as I know, Naomi and Iyo Sky haven't gone one-on-one yet.
Well, it still won't be a one-on-one because it'll be a triple threat. So even though you're right, it still officially isn't a one-on-one. Yeah.
So there's no stats for Naomi and Iyo Sky to compare with. But I still go for Iyo Sky to win this match. But I do agree with you as well with Naomi.
In terms of what, her being
possible champion, possible retaining championship, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I want Iyo Sky, but I'm happy if Naomi keeps the title.
All right. Let's move on to another women's match then. In terms of titles, we have got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria in a no DQ, no count out, last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Stipulation: if Lynch wins, Valkyria can no longer challenge for the title for as long as Lynch is champion. I really like this because it kind of puts the edge on. They have to win, otherwise they can't get it.
Lyra to win.
Fair enough. Any reason?
Becky don't need no damn title.
On that though, technically neither does Ripley. She's great with a title, without a title. So why is it different
Mummy's
for Becky?
always on top.
Oh, shut up. Okay,
No,
so you
Becky doesn't need a title. She doesn't need. You've had it. You've held it. Cool. You've been back a few months. You've been tag champ. Now you're in a continental champ. You don't need a title. All you need to do is be Becky Lynch, the man. You know. All you need to do is be the badass that we know you are. And as a veteran, your job, any veteran job is to help the newer talent, the younger talent, push them, raise them up, And this is a
Mhm.
great passing of the torch moment to give Lyra back the title, which I must say was a great run, And when she won that, you really saw Lyra come out of her shell.
I mean, it's Irish versus Irish, isn't it?
Yep.
We
Irish versus Irish in a no DQ match. This one's gonna be brutal. This one's gonna be bloody, but Lyra will win.
Deeks.
I don't want to do it, but I've got to agree with Shades again.
Hold on, I'm just standing for greatness.
I like Lyra. Lyra does need the title back. She shouldn't have lost in the first place.
Yeah.
Hey, Bailey was unfortunate not to get the title last month. Unfortunately, last month. Sorry, not last month. Early into month as well. Becky has technically now got her triple crown on the women's side of the professional wrestling. Men's got theirs. Now the women have got theirs. Becky now got her triple crown. So she now, yeah, and first Grand Slam as well. So now she can now say, "Okay, I've done my thing. Here you go. You can have it back again now."
Okay. In terms of Shade saying about Becky being the vet and obviously building people up and all that kind of stuff, I will say when Becky went down to NXT for a little while, someone that she did help build up, Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and now look where Tiffy is.
Yep. So look, I'm not against the idea of Lyra winning. What I would like to see though would be, it's not so much an interference, more of a distraction. But I would like Bailey to kind of appear, and be the reason that Lyra was there. So obviously we know there's no DQ, but I don't like the idea of Bailey kind of coming out and making an attack or anything like that. Just a simple distraction. Or the ref gets knocked out and Bailey comes out with a ref shirt and does the 3 count, something like that. I'm not against that. I like that idea of Bailey kind of still being along with the mix, and then them two being basically Bailey being, if it wasn't for me counting, technically you wouldn't be the champion. Blood, do you know what I mean? As an official and so on and so on. So there's a story there that we can go with. So look, I want Lyra to win, but I would like to see Bailey kind of be a reason and to be involved slightly for why. All right. Now let's talk about some family. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. Oh man.
This answer for me is so simple and easy.
Yeah, man. Well, look,
it's easy. Hang on. It's a steel cage match for the WWE United States Championship. I've got to read out the rule and what the stipulation is and all that shinizzle. So,
I have a question.
Going with? Go for it.
Are you both feeling okay?
No, I feel sick because I keep getting with you.
I'm good.
I'm just. This is now the current record that you both, in numbers, agreed with Shades.
It's only because you've gone first. If we'd have gone first, you would have agreed with us.
Well,
it's a fair point.
On this stream, Shades is always on top.
Oh, shut up. Carry on anyway.
Right. Only your dreams, mate. Only your dreams.
On to this. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu.
As long as Jacob Fatu can keep Solo's little crew out of the match.
Family trait.
Family trait. Fatu to win.
Okay. Nice and easy. Shades, is yours just as easy?
Oh, this is simple. This is simple. Fatu to win. This is going to be a great match. Still cage match with Solo Sikoa and the Samoan werewolf, the ring post prayer, who is always 1,000,000% energy and charisma. Just he's nuts. You're putting a maniac in a cage and a really cool, brutal maniac. You're putting someone of that level of I might hurt you in a cage. Now, Jacob's gonna win hands down. It's gonna be a great match.
All right.
The bloodline get involved, whoever you want to call bloodline, you want to call them the fake line, I don't care. They're gonna come out. They're gonna get involved. But we're gonna see in Jacob's corner Jimmy Uso.
Well, this is what I was going to
He's
ask
gonna
you.
come out.
Do you
He's
think
gonna come
Jimmy's
out
going to
and
make
he's
an
gonna have
appearance?
fun. But who's to say? Who's to say? Now let Shades drop a mic real sec. Who's to say Jimmy don't turn on Fatu and make Fatu lose?
I'll be honest.
You
As
think you're gonna have all of them outside the ring? I've got a feeling you're gonna have all of them climb the cage.
well, this is my thinking. What I would like to
You
see
know?
is Jimmy kind of scaling the top of the cage, right? And all of them at ringside. And then as they kind of trying to get in, Jimmy drops from the top of the cage onto them as a splash onto those at ringside. And that allows Jacob Fatu to get the win.
Whoever gets involved, whether Jimmy attacks Fatu or Jimmy attacks Solo or the Solo's boys attack Fatu or Solo's boys in an alternate universe attack Solo and go, no, we've had enough of you, mate.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
see that.
this match is nuts. You don't know what's going to happen until it happens, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those matches where literally anything can happen. You know, you can predict, say, 12 different storylines, and you get the 13th storyline happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
All right. Well, let me give you my
all,
prediction.
all you can guarantee is this match has the potential to be one of the greatest SummerSlam matches.
Yeah. All right. This is my prediction. Now, as I said, I like the idea of Jimmy, for example, being on top of the cage, for example, at some point, and then jumping on top of all like the family tree. Obviously them catching him, hopefully, and then kind of taking him out of the equation for Solo. For Jacob. I like the idea of those two kind of being on the same page because we're not there yet, but there's nods of agreement and stuff like that, you know. So we're not there yet. However, I still think Solo is going to be the champion at the end of this match because I don't think
I can
it's
agree
going to
with
happen.
you. I can agree with you. You know, I said Fatu to win, but I also said there is no real telling how
I think this is the hardest to call.
Yeah, there's so many different factors at play. You know what this is? This is a chess game on a 2,000,000 piece chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different moves to be played. There's so
Yeah.
many different avenues and pathways to go down. And it seems like whatever they're going to go down, we're going to be jaw dropped.
All right. Here's another one that's going to drop your jaws in. Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the
I'll
Intercontinental
go last on this
Championship. No, I'm going last. Don't
one.
worry.
No. I'm going last on this one.
We're
I'm
going to
going
fight
last.
that goes down last year. I want to go last as well.
No, because every time I drop like a piece of information, you always go, that's what I was going to say. So I want to see if you say the same thing as I did, because I've got an idea that you probably haven't. So you can go second to last. I'll let Diggs go first once.
I'll go first. I'll rock the boat. Why not?
Well,
AJ Styles will not win the title.
interesting. Okay.
Dirty Dom will retain thanks to his little friends in Judgment Day.
All right. Chase?
Interesting. That's an interesting point of view. AJ Styles.
What about him?
We're finally going to see him in action in a
Yep.
PLA for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I've had Dominic, have a doctor's note. Yeah, that's bullcrap, mate. Get out of here. That was
I've loved
handwritten
this,
by
by
your
the
mum.
way. Sorry, just to say, I've loved this entire doctor's note. AJ Styles kind of stalking him, being a janitor, being a cleaner,
Oh, yeah.
being. It's been
was,
so damn
yeah,
funny, man. Like I've loved this version of AJ. It's been so good.
being a cleaner, being a security guard, absolutely perfect. Dom, we've all had typed up or handwritten sick notes from our mothers before.
Yep.
Clearly, yours wasn't quite good enough because you are going to lose your title to the phenomenal AJ Styles. You're going to see the Judgment Day. They're going to come down. They're going to get involved. But who's to say that the phenomenal one doesn't have some friends? And I'll be honest. I think he's going to have backup. I can't really put a name on who's going to come out because there's a few different options there for who's going to come out and deal with the Judgment Day, so that Dirty Dom loses his Intercontinental title and can stop, disrespecting the damn thing. Look at me, I'm champion. Yes, very good. A real champion don't hide behind a piece of paper as good as it was. Get in the ring and defend it.
Hey, he's a heel champion.
Hey,
He's
yeah, he's
doing
a
his
heel
job.
champion, shove your heelness up your backside. AJ Styles is going to take the title with help from friends. The Judgment Day are going to get completely destroyed, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio can go back to a prison cell.
Okay. All right. Strap in, lads. The winner of this match. The winner of this match is going to be Dominic Mysterio.
Um,
But as you said, Judgment Day are going to make an appearance. Yes, I agree with that. However, don't forget the tie-in that WWE now has with AAA. Now, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, Dominic Mysterio showed on Raw. Dominic Mysterio was at AAA, and he attacked Vikingo, right? Which is their champion. The crowd lost their minds for Dom. So what if AJ Styles' reinforcement is a couple of the guys from AAA beating Vikingo? However, Dom gets the better of them and shows that he can beat Styles. We are building to Dom being a dual champion with the IC title in one hand and the AAA title in another hand, walking around in WWE and AAA. I think it's the perfect thing for Dominic Mysterio to do right now, because you've got the guy that's there, the son of Rey Mysterio, being the gatekeeper of one show and the other. IC has got so much like lineage, and so has the AAA. I think it's perfect for Dom to do this right now, which is why
what?
I think Dom's going to be victorious.
You know what? If we're gonna have Dommy two belts,
Yeah.
What you just said. Now, I'm not going to take away from my prediction, but what you just said, if that happens, and we get a JC Jane version for Dom on the main brand, he's going to
Essentially,
build
that's
up
what he would.
AAA. AAA gets more eyes through WWE while having one of their main titles not at AAA.
When
So
Dom
you're
took
going to
his
have more
mask off,
AAA guys. I like this because obviously it helps AAA, and I don't want to say it, but we're going to have the cockiest Dominic Mysterio if he
right?
gets two belts.
Right. Let me just cast your memory back, though. Right. As annoying as Dom is as the heel, one, he does his job well because obviously people hate him as a heel, right? And it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Cast your mind back. When he won it at WrestleMania, the crowd boo or did they cheer?
A bit both.
They cheered.
Cheered.
I'll be honest. I heard both. More
Right, but there
cheers
was
than
a lot
boos,
of
but there
cheers.
were still some boos.
Yeah, but there was a hell of a lot more cheers. When Dom took his mask off at AAA, the crowd exploded. Like he is loved. So him having this moment with the IC and with the AAA, eventually, if it does happen, I think it's good for him as just in general as a wrestler. Let's take away the heel thingy, like persona. They need someone that's. Well, tell me the last Spanish Mexican wrestler, right, that was in WWE that went back again and got so much love, being a heel in one show and then going somewhere else, right? But Ray's always been a face.
Take the heel out of the
Last,
equation.
no, yeah, no.
Rey
The last
Mysterio is
person,
the
Eddie
only
Guerrero.
name that comes to mind. That in a similar standpoint, go to a different brand, get love. You get love in your own brand. But it's the
I would
opposite.
say the last person, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Even though his face was more, even though his heel was more baby style, it was
Like
good.
light
It
cheating
was
still,
it was
yeah.
heel. Yeah.
People loved him to do that. You know, that
Oh
was
yeah.
his stick, light cheating and stealing and that. But I would say, I'm not saying Dom is as big as Eddie is, no way near. However, in terms of getting that reception, for example, in Mexico and Spain and all that kind, like that's a big thing, and not everyone gets that. You know, like they are very passionate about booing the bad guys. When Dom took that mask off, that was no boo in sight. So that's why I push more for Dom to have this. But yeah, for me, I think it makes sense. So I do think some guys from AAA are going to come out to help AJ Styles. Obviously, AJ Styles has been around the world. He knows people from all countries. Having a couple people kind of try and make the save would be great. But yeah, I think Dom victorious. All right, let's move on to something that I think is probably going to split the pack.
Oh, hold on, because we mentioned Judgment Day, I just want to cast a thought back to Raquel Rodriguez and that match. I just want to cast a thought. Get your opinions on. Are we finally going to see a possibility of Liv Morgan returning?
Well, with the injury, I don't know. I mean,
and I apologize for bringing this up this late, but it was because we were talking about the Judgment Day, and that name just come to mind. I was like, hold on a minute. I smell a Liv Morgan in the
air.
What I've heard is training hard to get back, but they're still estimating another at least 2 months.
Or are they just saying that so that when she returns at SummerSlam and goes, hang on a minute, that's my belt, we get that shock and awe factor of the OMG moment of the, oh, hold on a minute. Now we've got this.
I mean, there was something posted on.
That's my title, but you've got a match going on. Does Liv attack Perez and knock her and take her out, and then jump on the apron? Like, what happens here? You know, because obviously when Liv comes back, and if they're still champs, or if and if she comes back at SummerSlam, hold on a minute, you didn't lose your title technically.
I would
what
say.
Do we do?
Hang on. I would say it's more possibility that we aren't going to see Liv Morgan. So I'm just reading a report from the guy called that done the training with Kevin. From what I'm reading, in the picture, this was June. In the picture, her arm's still in a sling. She'd already had surgery on her arm. It's all wrapped and bandaged up, and it's still red. And they're still in the middle of doing rehab. So if they're still in the middle of rehabbing the arm, that's still technically movement and stuff like that. So I personally, I don't think Liv Morgan's going to make an appearance. If she's still rehabbing, and that was the start of the rehab last month, and now we're at the end of this month, a month worth of rehab, bearing in mind they had to do surgery, I don't think is enough time, personally.
No. That's what, as I said at the start of this conversation, she's been training hard, yes, but what I've heard, she's still at least 2 months out.
I would say 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. basically because of the surgery thing. If it was just the shoulder like injury, then obviously that can have time to heal, and then she can rehab slowly with that. But if it's surgery, you've got to have the surgery heal. They've got to check that. Then they've got to do the rehab in the process of doing that. Then they've got to make sure she's okay. Then they've got to do impact tests with the surgery. She can't, obviously, it's something that can't be rushed. So it depends on her healing factor as well, I guess.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because, you know, you don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, it'd be cool to see.
Should have mentioned it during the match, but obviously none of us brought it up. And then because we were talking about Judgment Day, I was like, hold on a minute. There's another member.
All right. Let's get on to the TLC tag team match. It's a 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE Tag Team Champions, featuring the Wyatt Six, which is Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, versus Andrade and Rey Fenix, versus DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus Fraxium, which is Axiom and Nathan Fraser, versus Motor Machine Guns, which is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, versus the Street Profits, which is Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. That is a big ass mouthful. All right, guys.
This is going to be nuts.
Yeah, this is going to be.
For me,
I'm not gonna lie.
Just bouncing off a scene with all of them in the ring and the cameras closed out and they were still fighting.
Yeah. Diggs, who was your prediction? I'll let you go.
For me, this is match of the weekend.
Wow. Okay.
This is one of the matches, other than one more match we've seen earlier in this video, that I want to watch the most.
All right.
This match is going to be chaotic, unbelievable, shocking, jaw-dropping, on your feet cheering for the length of this match, because it's going to be banger after banger after banger in this match. And I'm not predicting who's going to win it, because I don't care who wins it, because it's going to be a great match.
All right, but you need to pick a winner. You need, out of all of the 6 on the graphic, are the Wyatt 6 going to retain, or do we get it from somewhere else?
I can't see a retain in this match because it's too many members and too many people in this match. I've seen new champions. My prediction is probably going to be wrong, but I don't care. I'm going to say Andrade and Phoenix.
Okay. Do you know, I honestly thought you were going to say Fraxium.
I was thinking about it and then I changed my mind last second.
Okay.
Screw you. My turn. Fraxium to win. But to be honest, I agree with Diggs. I don't give a hell crap who wins. This match is going to be match of the weekend, match of the night, match of the week, match of the year, if they do it right. You want crazy in a ring? You want, stuff like you want crazy in an arena? This is how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be.
And another point I'm going to bring up. I believe this is our first men's tag team title event on a pay-per-view in forever.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It's so nice to see the tag titles finally be defended on a PLE. It had to be a 2-night PLE, of course, so that there was room for them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. With them being obviously together now, I do prefer. Personally, I think they should just have one set of titles and that's it. Regardless, that's
a different video. There you go. There's another video.
Yeah. So, but yeah, look, let's get down to my thing. Look, anyone that wins, I think is this has been building for so long. The backstage segments, everyone being annoyed about the Wyatt Six kind of being around and stuff. They've really kind of cemented their name within this title, along with the other guys. However, I would like to see the Street Profits kind of get the win again. Andrade and Phoenix, I think, are gelling well. It'd be nice to see that again. DIY again, great. Fraxium, I've been on another level. Same as MCMG. However, I think the Wyatt Six are going to retain. I really do.
That's a brave prediction for in a six TLC challenge match. God.
Putting it out there with the utmost respect. I don't care.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match.
I don't care. I don't care who wins. I don't care if they retain. I don't care who wins. This is one of those that comes around once in a blue moon.
It's for me. I think the biggest thing is the payoff. Yeah. No, I would say for me it's the payoff. Like whoever wins has to carry that title for going forward, and there needs to be a good thing. So I'd like personally, if it's Wyatt 6, the Street Profits, MCMG or Fraxium, I can see there being a nice kind of go from there. But with Andrade and Phoenix, maybe something can work. DIY, again, something can work. They're more of a comedy act, kind of with some serious wrestling. So those are the only two that I can see being more outsiders. The other four are big contenders. But yeah, you're right. I think this has potential to be a match of the night if done well. However, we will get onto that in just a hot second. Finally, then
one of my friends mentioned a few days ago. It's good to see we're getting the tag titles on the PLE. And he said we're getting a 6-man TLC tag title match. What are they trying to do? Catch up for the amount of times they should have been defended on PLE?
Exactly that. But hey, they're on
the
the PLE.
What? I agree with him.
They're on the PLE. That's the main thing. Let's move on to the final match of the night then, which is John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. Diggs, I want you to go first on this one.
Pass to Shades.
I'll go first because I know if you want, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I will go last. Thank you very much.
We're going to be here for another hour. All right. Look, I'm going to try and make this quite sensible. I think the match is going to be really cool. We're going to see a different side of Cody. I still feel like we're going to see that rough, aggressive side of Cody. I think we're going to see a new side to Cena because obviously he hasn't done a street fight yet as a heel. So I think we are going to see a more vicious side of Cena. But I just think that still now isn't the time for Cody to take that title. I think it has to happen at a point where he loses his mind. It drives him crazy. And in so him going crazy is how he becomes heel. He gets desperate, and really loses his mind. And that's that build of that happening. And basically Cena creates a monster. And the monster is Nightmare Cody. Not, like a different Nightmare of Cody, an actual nightmare. So I think Cena retains, but just barely. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Thank you. Someone with sense. I've been arguing with this for Shades for 2 weeks. Someone with sense. What? I agree completely. Cody will not win the match tonight. Will not win that match Sunday. Cena will retain. The Nightmare Cody Rhodes will become even more Nightmare Cody Rhodes after he loses. Thank you for agreeing with me. Shay's over to you.
Here we go. Tuck in. Get your popcorn ready.
You are both wrong. You are both stupidly wrong. Ridiculous. Absolute pandemonium. We're going to see a very dangerous side of John Cena that you have never seen before. We're going to see a vicious, brutal, absolute destroyer. But then we're going to see the almighty, the wonderful, that is the...
You said we're gonna see you Almighty.
Oh. I was trying not to say that, but he did it. Thank you.
Factually, I'm correct.
Oh,
But carry on.
oh. I was holding that back. I didn't want to say it, but thank you.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
Carry on.
Oh. Oh, this is bathrobe all over again. Well, he can't stop laughing.
Carry on. So if we're gonna get Cena,
We're going to get Cena in a brutal way. You know, we're going to see a different level of Cena that we haven't seen like before, where he's going to do anything and everything to keep his title. But we're going to see the phenomenal. We're going to see the almighty. We're going to see a new level of I'm going to bloody well hurt you, Cody Rhodes. And now the WWE, the universe, they ain't seen this side, but we have. We've seen it in the past. You know, we were talking about this recently. You know, the vicious, sadistic, you know, grab a fan's beer and spit it in your face, you know, make you bleed, you know, absolutely destroy you. We're going to get heel Cody Rhodes. We're going to get the biggest heel turn in WWE history that's going to shock the WWE universe because of how vicious and bloodthirsty he becomes after he doesn't get the Cena he wants. Let's remember, he wants happy-go-lucky, hustle, loyalty, and respect. You can't see me, Cena. We ain't gonna get that guy. We're gonna get the blacked out screen with John Cena on it. He's gonna walk down to the ring holding the title wrong. We're gonna get everything that Cody wants to see. Ain't gonna happen. You know why? Because that's how you destroy wrestling. This is the whole storyline with Cena of destroying wrestling. But in doing that and not giving Cody Rhodes what Cody Rhodes wants, you now unlock the beast inside Cody that's waiting to come out, where he goes levels and levels above any violent thing you've ever seen before, to the point that Cena cannot stand up. You know, I think Cody won't be able to stand up. I think we're going to get this absolute history making match. You know, if they do it right, where Cody turns heel, but also becomes the most dangerous WWE champion that we will ever get.
okay. Now I just want to
And
ask you.
I don't know how you want, like, because I don't. The Caps, you can help me out here. You know the version of Cody I'm on about.
Right. Yeah. But I want to ask you a question. Right. So far, Cody hasn't been as unhinged as we're explaining. Right. My thinking is this. I agree with that version of have Cody happening, but I don't think it's at SummerSlam. The reason why is this. Because I think we get the sheer desperation of Cody basically saying, you know how R-Truth for a little while was like, I want Cena. And he was attacking him at every corner we could. I think we're going to get that from Cody first. But it's not just that. I think Cody comes unhinged. He's unglued to a point where he wants Cena. In the moment where he finally gets him and then he beats him, then I think we get that version of Cody going forwards where he's going to do anything he can to protect the title. I haven't seen enough of Cody lose his mind yet to the point where he's going to do that. If it happens in a match, then that'll be great storytelling, but it needs to be visually seen. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that with the chaos of the rest of the match. That's my concern. So, which is why normally they do more microphone work and then do the story separately.
Can you give a few examples of the Cody Rhodes that I am on about. For anyone that doesn't know what we're on
Well,
about,
the
because
biggest one
they're,
was him turning on Kenny.
viewers that
Probably
are tuning into us know Cody for one thing, or they know Cody from dashing Cody Rhodes for Stardust. He's always been that happy-go-lucky Cody. They don't know, or may not know, just how evil, if you will, Cody
Sadistic
Rhodes can be.
can be.
So if you
yeah.
can give a few examples to just shed light on that.
To be fair, I would say the biggest thing was Cody turning on Kenny, with the Bullet Club stuff and kicking Kenny out of the Bullet Club. I would say that's probably the biggest thing because it was so shocking. Basically, they shook hands, and then as Cody was getting out, Cody pulls him back, hits him with a crossroads. It was more though, as great as the moment was for him hitting Kenny with the crossroads, the bigger thing there was Cody's reaction after. Like he got all giddy, and like he was holding his face and he was just going like, he had traits of Stardust, but kind of at the same time as like it basically was like a comic book villain. And that was kind of the way he then pushed. And when he was Ring of Honor, he had the Ring of Honor, the championship as a ring, and he was making everyone bow down to him and kiss the ring, even his presence and stuff like that. I don't think we're getting that from Cody. I think we're getting the sadistic, scurrying away kind of like heel version of Cody, as in kind of like a cross between the Riddler and like the Joker and Two-Face, kind of. All of those kind of things
Are you
combined,
saying more of a ruthless aggression, Cody?
No, the opposite, because it's not aggression that you want from Cody at that point. This is what I'm saying to you. You get the aggression, yes, within the match, but the way he does things is, for example, in the match where Goldberg versus Gunther, and then
Yeah.
Gunther hit Goldberg and Goldberg smiled. You're going to get those kind of traits come from Cody, but instead of it just being like a bit of a smile, it's going to be him with a half crooked smile and enjoying the pain, embracing it. And he's going to be like essentially twisted. And I think him
Well,
becoming twisted is going to be why he protects that title. It's going to make him like his baby.
when you talk about Cody Rhodes and pain and enduring, enjoying, and getting the job done with pain, all that leads me back to Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. We all saw it.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
torn back, that bruising. And then he didn't leave. He got the
No.
job done.
That's what I mean. There is resilience there. But I just think I know what you're saying and I feel like it will work. But I don't think it's at SummerSlam. Personally, I don't think it's at SummerSlam. I think it's just a step too soon. I think it happens further down the line. Survivor Series, I can see it.
You know what? Now bouncing off of you, everything I've said, if it happens, amazing. But if I'm gonna go along with you, we're gonna not start to see it. We're gonna see it start to evolve during this match.
Yeah, I think this match is where you see it. Then he gets more sadistic as the weeks go on. Personally, that's what I think. I think Deeks thinks the same.
Yeah.
Now, because I've seen it online and on Reddit and stuff and X, and different polls on Instagram, do you think that Cena will be alone?
I don't know. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. I don't know.
Well, there's only one person I'm talking about here. Does
The Rock.
The Rock come out to screw Cody Rhodes over
Would like
again?
the thing is, if it does happen, then we settle for the Rock versus Cody, and I don't really think that's. I'm not fussed on that.
No, not The Rock versus. I'm talking about The Rock coming out to ensure Cena stays champion.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Because we haven't seen him, and we know that from the Raw after Mania, I believe it was, or it might have been the next week, where they had Rock and Cody in the ring Rock had the People's Championship.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't remember what the Rock said exactly because it was obviously it was a while ago, but it was almost like we're not done here.
I would say you got to remember
You get what,
every title defense so far of Cena has been tainted in some way or another. Interference, using a title, kicking someone in the nuts, the ref being blinded by something, so Cena gets the upper hand. All of that's happened. This is now going to be the first match in where all of that is technically legal. So in order for something to be more tainted, I don't know what they're going to do because they've taken all the problems, technically all the problems and what Cena's done away. So now there is no upper hand. So that's why I'm more intrigued in this match. I think an interference by someone, maybe, but it's not Travis Scott. Apparently WWE's cut ties with him because he just wasn't getting a grasp of the wrestling training. So that's happened. Which obviously leads to The Rock being the next guy to, I guess, come out. I don't think The Rock may appear. Other than that, though, I don't know. Who would you put aligned alongside Cena? I guess that's the next question. And would Cena have the person there, or would he call upon someone? I ain't got a clue. I really don't know. I think it's weird because Cena being a heel and saying that he wants to ruin wrestling, no one wants to be alongside him. So it does make it hard for someone to come out and kind of help Cena, unless it's The Rock. But I don't see it being The Rock.
All right, let me flip it. Let me flip it for you. Who comes out to help Cody? If that happens,
maybe Randy.
I can't think of anyone better to do that.
Maybe Randy.
It's another like unicorn match. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like I said with the previous match, it's like a 2 million piece chessboard. There's so many different moves that can be played. There's so many pathways and avenues to take. Yeah, again, you can say Cody's going to win. You can say Cena's going to win. You can say it's going to be tainted. You can say, I don't know, double knockout, for example. Or The Rock's going to get involved, or Randy will get involved, or they'll both get involved, or whatever's going to happen. But it's the first 2-night SummerSlam. It's massive. Who's just there's like, for goodness sake, at WrestleMania, we all saw how that went. You had everyone jumping in the ring. You had The Undertaker, you had the Usos, you had everyone, everyone in the ring or in the arena. Everyone had a little part to play. It was an epic passing of the torch, if you will. Now, obviously, the torch can't be passed here because Cody's kind of on top in things. Cena's on top. So like, where do you go with that one? Do we get a Roman Cody WrestleMania thing, but it's Cena Cody SummerSlam where different people get involved and jump in and help him? Or you get what I mean? Now we're talking about this. Just now we were talking about maybe The Rock comes out.
I think the biggest thing is
Well,
with it being Cena's last thing. Regardless of what happens, we know Cena isn't going to appear next year unless it's like a one-off kind of appearance, right? But I would say I think the idea of no one coming out to help Cena really cements that he's on his own. Whereas someone coming out to help Cody would be more of it'd be another reason for Cody to basically turn and lose his mind. Imagine the incident. Cena's like about to concerto. Imagine like Cena's about to concerto Cody, or he just continuously hits him with chair after chair after chair after chair after chair, and it gets to a point where Cody can't come up. If the refs are attempting to then stop it and Randy comes out, then he's saying call the match. And for example, let's say Cody pushes Randy off, Cena hits Cody with an AA, for example, and gets the pin, right? There's a reason why that happened, and then Cody's like, Randy, that's your fault. There's another reason to make Cody become more unhinged. more unstable. I could have beaten him. Have that disbelief. So I think if anything we get from it, it's going to be, I think there has to be an element there of desperation from Cody. And I think regardless what happens, we have to see it. I think Randy's the perfect person.
Yeah. Now, a poll that I saw about 4 hours ago on, I can't remember, it was on YouTube. And do we see Randy punt Cena to help Cody? Is this the time? That was the poll. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just referencing what I saw from whatever it was.
All right, Diggs, what's your thoughts on this Randy stuff? Do you think if there's an appearance from him, do you think he comes out? Is it what I kind of said? Is it something else you're thinking of?
I can see Randy coming out to it to try and help Cody. Yes. I can see Randy's help for Cody backfire on Cody and cost Cody the match instead of help Cody win instead.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Randy Orton attempting a punt on Cena and missing. Maybe misses and get Cody instead, and that causes in the match. Maybe.
Oh, you're saying Randy goes to punt Cena, but Cena moves and he punts Cody.
Yeah.
Oh, now that would be a tight turner.
Which is another way of twisting the knife in Cody, to set him off on this anger, aggressive, psychopathic Cody.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, it could happen.
You know, it's another way to change Cody's from being this babyface that everyone loves to this diabolical, demon-possessed heel.
Essentially, that's where we're getting, right? So whatever happens, we have to think about if Cody's going to come out of desperation and be like doing everything and anything in his power to get that, he becomes desperate. So whatever happens, this is why I'm saying to you, I don't think it happens now. We need this desperation from Cody. And I think you can't get the desperation from Cody at SummerSlam and start getting it at SummerSlam and then have him win at that same night because the desperation's done and dusted. If you really want it to happen, it has to be long because Cody then gets, where he then puts, it was that moment for Cody, that's the start of it. But I guess, look, we can talk about this all night. I reckon it's time to wrap it up. Obviously, we have been live talking SummerSlam.
Closing point. Camps match of the night. Match of the night for night one. Match of the night for night two.
All right. So I was going to say night one. Oh gosh. Probably. Oh man, I don't know. Night one's harder to call. Probably which would be Punk and Gunther for night one, and night two will be this match here, women's triple threat. Diggs?
For me, night one would probably be.
You want the graphics up so you can see them?
It's awkward to choose night one. Night one's card's really balanced.
That's all night one.
I'm going to say Sami Zayn for night one.
Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross for night one?
Yeah, probably much the night, I reckon.
Night two?
And night two for me is, as I said already, the 6-pack TLC match for me.
There we go. We're changing over.
That's for me.
And Shane's finally...
a great match.
I think it'll be. I think night one's obviously, as we've agreed, very balanced out. You know, it's almost
Mhm.
it's almost it's very hard to call. But I'm gonna go Punk and Gunther for night one.
Yeah.
You know, I just
Not a
see it
bad
being
shout. Not a bad shout at all.
that if they do it right, can steal the night.
Night 2.
You know, night two is like for me, night two is very, very difficult, even harder than night one, because you've got so many different matches with so many different types. You know, it's kind of a tie between the six pack TLC and Cena and Cody. But then again, you've got the women who are also currently laying down night after night, just sheer greatness.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm gonna bend my arm and pick one, I think the six pack TLC, if done correctly, will still night two. If it's not done correctly and isn't as spectacular and special as we think,
Oh,
then
that match will be chaos and all guns blazing all night long. That's gonna be a great match. They're not gonna hold anything
Yeah.
back. The last time they done a TLC match for the titles was like a couple of months back. That was epic, and this is gonna be even better because there's a new twist to it. So it's gonna be even better. So yeah,
But if it's not as special as you think it's going to be, then I'll go with Cena and Cody. I think that will be a great match. You know, no, whatever way it goes, whatever happens in it, you know it's gonna be a top tier conflict. But what I will
Yeah.
say is, I think we can all agree wholeheartedly that on night one and night two, the women in WWE in general right now are on a different level.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
We
it.
get special matches, and I
They've
think
got
we're going to get
they've got the chance to steal the show twice. They really have got a chance to do it.
You know, this is high caliber stuff.
So, all right. Look, so obviously that's been the there we go, is the graphic. The live predictions for obviously for the show. I will say, guys, if all goes to plan, join me and Deeks for the live build up of SummerSlam for night one and potentially night two. I think it's going to be easier for us to do night two. But I am traveling. I'm traveling night during the day for night two. So depending on how tired I am, will probably be a build up. If we can, there'll be a watch along, but I'm not confirming everything yet until we know what's happening. So
And
yeah,
sadly, Shades will not be here.
yeah, you are away on holiday. So it's just us
But
two.
don't get me wrong, I am damn well watching it. And look out, because Shades might be ruling the comment section.
So all right, guys, it's been great talking wrestling, and I will see you. I'll see you on the build up.
Bye.
See ya.
Yep.
Oh, what's happening? I'm having malfunctions. There you go. I'll see you on the build up.